Hello, my name is Amanda Powers, and I will be presenting my interpersonal communication project. About me. I am a wife, mother, student, pastor, friend, coach, and counselor. Who am I? I am a busy, resilient 28-year-old woman. I am married with 2 children, boys ages 2 and 4. I work as a registered behavior technician at Centra for children with developmental delays such as autism. I am also a graduate student pursuing my ultimate goal of becoming a life coach. I am a missionary and children's pastor. I have a deep love for self-help books, making lists, working toward goals, and Pinterest. I never sit still for too long. There's a lot about me. Digging deeper. Taking a look at my overarching communication goal and personality assessments. My overarching communication goal is to make each communication encounter with others count. I want to build my listening skills by increasing my awareness of myself and others. I desire to learn appropriate self-disclosure skills that allow relationships to blossom. I also desire to cultivate my intuitive skills in order to better understand others within each communication encounter. In order to do that, I have to look at my behavioral blends discussed by Carbonell. There are 4 different types of behavior blends: D, I, S, and C. D stands for active task-oriented. I stands for active people-oriented. S stands for passive people-oriented. And C stands for passive task-oriented. According to my personality assessment, I am an ID and SD blend, which means I am directing, driving, determined, task-oriented, people-oriented, inspiring, influencing, interested in people, confident, caring, and I have a desire to please others. I am an inspirational doer, personality blend, which is the ID, and a steady doer, personality blend, which is the SD. This affects my communication interactions in several ways. What this means for me. When I put my mind to something, I often succeed. Still, I can be overzealous at times. 2. I have high expectations for myself and for others. I enjoy pushing others to do their best, but sometimes I can get frustrated when others don't push for themselves. 3. I am a strong leader and I often take charge when something lacks direction, although I find myself biting off more than I can chew in some areas of my life. 4. I desire to please everyone around me, which makes me a good listener and friend, but I also struggle to find others who will be willing to listen to me. And 5. I can be rather emotional, but I often filter my emotions and wait till I am with someone I am comfortable with. There is something that's everywhere: distractions and noise. The effects of noise on communication impact us all, irrespective of age, sex, or lifestyle, in many aspects of day-to-day living. There's both internal and external noise pollution. Internal noise pollution are things like fantasizing, thinking about something else while others are speaking, looking at their clothing, quirks, or physical features, thinking about what you have planned to say next, or being cold, uncomfortable, or sick while someone is talking to you. These are examples of internal noise. It is everything that's going inside our body and mind that does not help us understand a speaker. There's also external noise and distractions. These are the things that distract us from outside of our person. The world is full of distractions, and it makes listening and communicating difficult. Things that might distract us: loud noises, interruptions, stormy weather, someone chewing food or gum, other conversations around us, tapping of feet, pencils, fingers, music, machinery, the list goes on. To deal with those things, we have several things we can do. Having good listening skills help us deal with noise pollution. Some suggestions to improve these skills include making connection with the speakers and what they are saying, being active in the conversation, responding, initiating, and going all of the way, working at listening, putting our effort into listening and preparing for it and practicing it, focusing, listening to the main point or direction that the speaker is trying to take, make notes. Some situations say you can take written notes. In others, it's good to make good mental notes. And we must learn to resist external distractions. As most parents learn, tuning some things out is necessary for one's sanity. The next step. Listening may be an acquired behavior, but good listening is an art. I have an action plan to better do these things. First, I want to make sure that each encounter that I have in communication is good. So, I will deal with my awareness of self and others. In order to do this, I will do several things. First, I will seek counseling and coaching to strengthen my own self-awareness. Second, I will increase awareness of others by looking for situations that open me up to new people and ideas. Because social exclusion decreases my ability to be aware of myself and others, I intend to increase that as much as possible. There's something that reduces the ability to do that, and that is flat brain syndrome. Our book by Peterson says that flat brain syndrome is caused by not being able to deal with our emotions that we get during communication. This happens when we don't deal with them and become overloaded. Our thinking becomes skewed and we will lose our abilities to listen, hear, or understand things. This reduces my ability to be self-aware. In order to deal with those, Peterson gives several suggestions. 1. Reduce emotional disturbance. 2. Clarify thinking. 3. Increase self-confidence. And 4. Build supportive friendships. I also want to build strong intuitive skills. Listening like this cracks through facades, defenses, dulled habits to the inner life of concerns, hopes, and fears. In order to be successful as a life coach, I intend to practice my use of intuition at home, with friends, and at my current place of employment. I will purposefully study others' nonverbal cues, including their body movements and gestures, posture, space and proximity, facial expressions, eye contact. I will also purposefully study the verbal cues people use: speed, tone, volume, and pitch. Strong detective skills are key components of good listening. Intuition helps the listener to fill in missing pieces in communications that we don't always see. I also want to work on using appropriate self-disclosure. In fact, Scripture says in Proverbs 21:23, "Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble." Self-disclosure comes with both benefits and warnings, and it can strengthen or injure a relationship if used correctly or incorrectly. I will strive to base my amount of self-disclosure on the stage of my relationship that I'm in. I also intend to disclose to others only when it has a reasonable chance of improving our relationship. Otherwise, I'm going to attempt to hold my tongue. Since self-disclosure is a major building block for relationships, I will only share with people who are worth my trust. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this class. I have enjoyed it and learned a lot.